Hey guys, welcome back to another River Rats video. In today's video, we're going to be showing you guys our top 5 favorite spring baits for largemouth bass.
Alright, so first we're going to be talking about
the swim bait category.
Swim bait category as our number 5 pick.
There's about 4 different main swim baits, I'd like to say. There's the hard swim baits, which we like to use, the baby bull shad, and what is this?
The River Sea S-Waver in the 128 size, I believe. Smaller size.
We got the soft swim bait, which is like a mag draft, is one of the biggest. I'd say this is the most popular,
Probably, yeah.
It's great swim bait.
Yeah, great swim bait.
It's definitely proved itself over the years from some really famous fishermen and stuff like that. It's just one of the probably the top end swim bait you can possibly.
Yeah, but I like using this around like docks or just because this bait, even though it is 1 ounce, it sinks very slowly. So you can even fish it as like a sight fishing swim bait for really big ones on beds, or you can do lots of things. It's a very, very versatile bait, but this guy gets tank bites.
And then there's many other different kinds. There's a paddle tail swim bait, and then there's like a paddle swim bait like this. This one's really good. The Kitech Easy Shiner. It's really good for stuff like when the water's really cold. Like we use this in the winter too.
Yeah, in the wintertime, like on the river, we always use this too.
Yeah, and, it's really good for some cold water.
Yep.
And that's our number 5. On number 4.
Okay, guys, moving on to number 4, we're gonna talk about jigs. I like using Outcast tackle jigs. They're my favorite. I started using this last year the most, and I just fell in love with them. My favorite is probably the Juice jig or the Stealth Fighter jig. I like a Stealth Fighter because it's tungsten and the colors, but these are very expensive, so I don't normally get too much of them. But I normally fish a 1/2 ounce, and we're only fishing around like sparse weeds, any weed we can find in the springtime. A lot of docks, a lot of skipping docks with these. But yeah, basically you can use them on beds. I mean, the jig is a very versatile bait. And the trailer we like to use is the Muscleback Finesse Craw from X-Zone.
Muscleback Craw.
Muscleback Craw, whatever. Oh, not the Finesse Craw, but it'd be the Muscleback Craw.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we like using that. But I like it in the Bama Craw color. Just something about the orange and the brown that, for some reason, the bass in Minnesota love. So, yeah, but we're going to keep throwing this here and hopefully catch more panks.
Yep.
Panks?
just Number 3 is the swim jig. Our favorite to go to is usually the Outcast swim jig. My favorite color, I like more of a bluegill pattern. People like white pattern, but around here I really like the bluegill pattern, and cause that's what we mostly have. And around here is like bluegills and stuff like that. Not too much. Actually, I don't think there's any shad really. So no shad except for like lower Mississippi and stuff like that. But yeah, so I like using these. The paddle tail is a Kitech. I love using the Kitech paddle tails. There's great paddle tails.
They have lots of colors too. That's why
they have lots of colors.
But another great option is the Rage Slimmer, but those don't tear as much. But there's like only 6 colors in that, which is this one right here. Yeah. Which the Rage Slimmer, I know, just get green pumpkin, which is tried and true. Another great bait is the Z-Man Diesel Minnows, because they have a Lastech, so you can go through a whole one the whole day. Yeah,
if you really don't want to spend a lot of money on stuff like that, I'd go with these because you can really last so long. You don't have to. You can only do one pack like a whole entire day.
Also, another great bait is the X-Zone Swammer in the Sungill color. That's a great one tournament last year. Also, another thing, when we get the Outcast, we get the heavy cover one and not the normal one because we normally fish them on braid and heavier cover like lily pads. Like the lily pads that are growing in the springtime are a great target for a swim jig. You just right around the roots and the big ones come on. You can see them wake on it and you set the hook and you jack them. But yeah, moving on to number 2. All right, guys, moving on to number 2. It is the tried and true wacky rig. I mean, there's not much even to say about this one. It's just
I'm pretty sure everyone basically knows.
Everyone basically knows this is the absolute workhorse of a bait. But you can skip the bait. You can sight fish with it. I mean, you can do basically anything you want in the spring, but it works like a charm. But our favorite colors are the natural colors, like watermelon red,
watermelon seed,
green pumpkin. Just the standard colors, but yeah, we normally fish on like a little circle hook, kind of like this one here. You guys can see that. But yeah, normally fish on with that, and I'm normally fishing on spinning rods.
Yep.
So
it's great stuff. This is like the bait you throw on when you're have a skunk and it's like midday and you're like crap, you know.
Yeah, you gotta
You gotta
catch
get
one.
fish.
You still wacker out there and you'll get bit.
Yeah.
All right, on to number 1.
Number 1, the best spring bait of all time, in our opinions, is the chatterbait. It's just
Something
just
about
insane,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, something about it in the springtime just gets them going. You find a weed flat that still has green weeds from the wintertime, and you burn this thing right above them. Oh, it is unreal. I mean, we had a day I think it was last year actually. We were just burning chatterbaits over weed flats and caught easily close to 20, 25 pounds. But it was nuts.
it's a great bait. My favorite is the jackhammer.
Jackhammer is just the best, you know.
Jackhammer is the best.
But a good cheap alternate is the Z-Man Cross Eyes one, which it's supposed to have a weed guard, but I just snip off the weed guard and it's basically just like a jackhammer, but not as good as a hook. The hook is okay. Another great one too is the Z-Man Custom, which you can only get off Tackle Warehouse, but I like that one too. So yeah, I mean, chatterbaits are awesome. We fish them on normally around 15 to 17 pound test on like a medium heavy moderate or so.
Yeah. Just so that tip doesn't yank out of the mouth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you can get a good hook set in them.
Yep. But I don't know. That's the spring large review.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you can use our tips and the baits that we use to go catch the biggest for yourself. Peace out.